Hi everybody, this is a video to show you how to take through Design Space an SVG to cut this lovely envelope box, which you can either use with an upright box as sort of a display box, or you can actually fold the lid down and close it. This is an SVG that's been around for a long time, but I'm only just making the video for it now. Okay, so let's go to Design Space and we'll bring it in. It's already in my library. So this is a really big envelope, and that's why envelope box, and that's why it comes in quite a few pieces, and it's also fully lined. So the pink pieces are the box outer and the yellow pieces are the lining. So if you weren't lining it, don't cut any of the yellow. And you can cut this smaller to make a smaller box, but there is also an envelope box which is smaller on the Etsy shop, which cuts in fewer pieces. So I'll link to that SVG in the description as well. And if you check out the sizes of both, then you can decide which is the best one for your project. Okay, so the first thing, as usual, that we need to do with a multi-part SVG which has score lines, we need to convert those lines that come in as cuts but which actually need to be scores. We can't make them come in as ready set score lines at the moment. So if an SVG with multiple parts and score lines has been set up correctly, it should ideally come in an overall group like that, which has absolutely everything in it. I'm looking in the layers panel here on the right side. And then two subgroups, one of which contains all the scores and another one that contains all the cut pieces. So the group we're going to work with first is this one that's got all the score lines in, and you can see that there are no coloured pieces, so you know this is just lines. Just click on the name of that subgroup and it selects everything within it, and then go to your operations menu, click on basic cut and go down to score. You can see that those lines have been converted now, they've become dashed, and while they're still selected we need to go back to the layers panel and click on ungroup at the top. I'm using the desktop version of Design Space for PC. If you're using the mobile app, these commands will be somewhere else, but that's the name of the command that you're looking for. So now we need to just select that subgroup below, which has all the cut pieces in it. And all we need to do here is ungroup. And the third step is to finally select everything on screen, and you can do that by clicking on the name of that group that everything is still in, that overall group, or you can use the select all button in the menu bar at the top there, or Control A on your keyboard, or you can just drag a box to select everything like that. However you do it, once it's selected, just do that third ungroup. So now everything on screen is a separate piece, all the scores are separate, and now you can attach each set of scores to the individual piece that they relate to. You need to do it piece by piece individually, because if you select everything together, you'll get a message from Design Space telling you that the project is incompatible with your machine because it's too big. So I think the easiest way to select one piece is to click on canvas somewhere near it, drag a box to more or less enclose it. You don't need to go all the way around, and you need to attach those two together, and on the desktop version, attach is at the bottom of your layers panel. So that is the main outer box, top of the envelope flap. This is the piece that joins onto it to make the envelope back. These yellow pieces are the lining of those two pieces, so that would sit on there like that, and that one has no scores, nothing to do there, but that would go on that piece like that. Just bring it to the front and show you. You don't need to remember what any of these are. Your PDF of instructions gives you a complete diagram of the SVG and lots of instructions and photographs showing you how to assemble it, so that's all explained in there. This is the envelope front and base, and this is the lining for that piece. And again, that would sit on there like that when it's made, at the back though, obviously. This is the front flap. There's a front flap that goes up the front of the box, just so you can add some strength and contrast. I'll just attach that before I move it around, and that would go there on the front of that box. And can you see how it just makes that envelope shape in the dip there? And if you wanted to use this piece This is actually for the outside. That would go there to make a contrast. I think if we look at this, you can see what I'm talking about. That's the flap that we were just talking about, and this is the contrast that goes over the top. These are the side walls, and they just run under the base as well for a bit more strength. And these yellow pieces are the lining for the side walls, and they would fit on there like that when it's made. Okay, so that's everything attached now. We'll click make it and see what happens. Right, so all the pieces of this project will fit on 12 by 12. It's a very large envelope box, so consequently it takes quite a lot of paper to make it. As I said before, you can omit the lining if you don't want it, and if you did that, you would need 5 sheets just to cut the outer box. But if you want to line it, you would need another 5 for the lining. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to cut it, so I'll click cancel. I think it's fairly straightforward, certainly this part, attaching everything together. And you, as I said, you do get that PDF of very detailed instructions that show you how to put it together. If you've got any questions when you do come to cut it or assemble it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. I'm always happy to help. The links to do that are in the description below, and if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, the link to do that is in the description below as well. And as I said earlier, I'll also link the smaller envelope box, which cuts in fewer pieces and is slightly simpler to assemble. So if you need a much smaller envelope box than this one, that might be a good one for you to take a look at. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.